Good morning, stock traders, and welcome back to Stock Traders Talk Radio. I'm your host, Stock Sumo, and thanks for joining us on this terrific Tuesday, July 31st. Here we are as we wrap up another good month with STT. And you know what time it is, folks. It's time for us to rock as we look through the markets. So open up your charts, turn on those scanners, and fire up your trading account. Hopefully I'm not having the technical issues I had yesterday. Joining us on this morning's program is Haas. Haas, what's up?
Good morning, Stock Sumo. I don't hear any technical issues so far. But if it happens, you just go and trade your Apple options, and I'll take over, and you just come back on whenever you can. How does that sound? Sumo? Oh, Jesus. Hey, everyone in the chat room, can you guys hear me? Haas, hello?
You're still rocking, Haas. Sumo's got some serious issues over there. We'll be waiting for you, brother Sumo. Take it away, Haas.
Buddy, I'll just roll with it, Sif. Go do your thing, bro. We apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Sumo's having some technical issues. That's all right. He'll get back on when he can. Definitely want to talk about one that kind of popped onto my radar on some financing news that it had last week. And over the weekend, it's kind of been getting some buzz and some chatter. And the dollar volume that's been flocking to this stock is slightly increasing, but not yet to a point where it's really breaking out and the Momo's really building to the upside. It's just kind of that, it had that slow sell-off, kind of formed that little bottom where everyone got bored and tired of it. And just recently, you kind of got some dollars flocking this way, and it's kind of creeping up. It's kind of that, initial accumulation front-loading stage before the big boom. So I want to talk about this one first. The company is Interline Resources. The ticker is IRCE. Just looking at it initially here on the iHub. Let's see if I can get let's do a 3-month chart. So it's kind of hanging up here around, 1.5, 2 cents in early May here. And as you can see, it's just kind of dwindling down and forming this base around, 001, 0015 on low volume. Anytime you see a sell-off like that, there's a couple things that come to mind. Number one is dilution. Heavy dilution is going to kill any stock. And another option is just the low volume sell-off, which are actually some of my favorite plays. Especially with companies that do actually have some things, big things that they plan to do. If you can catch that bottom and just accumulate that low volume from people selling just out of complete boredom, then you can really make some massive returns if you're a patient player. All right, so let's just look at DD Amanda. This is why this tool is so useful. You can kind of see that it was really low dollar volume sell-off. You're all the way up at 007 back in June here. You're up in the 007s, 004 area back in May as well. And all low dollar volumes. You don't see the $100,000 days here. You don't see $500,000 days. You're seeing like 5, 10, sometimes upwards of $15,000 days. Yet the share price is moving pretty quick. So right out of the gates, you're thinking to yourself, all right, this is a very thin stock. The float's pretty small. It's moving really quickly on very low dollar volumes. But, throughout end of May, June, July, just people, just bored, nothing really going on. Companies not really doing a whole lot. And the dollar volumes are super low. But as you can see here, just the last 3 trading days, last Thursday, Friday, and then again on Monday here, dollar volume is higher than it's been since early April, and then even before that. So all the way back into the beginning of 2012, late 2011, we haven't had dollar volumes even close to this. And as you see here, 3 big green candles in the last 3 days, all the way from 0004 close last Wednesday up to 0022 close yesterday. 3 green days in a row on not more than $65,000 in volume. So the dollar volume is not too crazy yet. And if people get more interested than what we've seen here so far, this one can move really, really, really quick. So let's just move over to Pink Sheets here and see if we can't find anything. The first thing that I see here is over-the-counter pink limited information on pinksheets.com. So initially your thoughts are, all right, the company went semi-quiet for a little while. They're not putting all their filings in place quite yet. But they're not to the point of a stop sign or a skull and crossbones where they're not talking at all. So they're putting some stuff out and keeping their shareholders updated to some extent. Moving down to the actual security details, we have an authorized share count as of the end of 2011 here of 2 billion shares. Outstanding share count, not even close to that. As of June 7th, 2012, we have a 158 million outstanding share count, which is actually really, really low for a company that was, just trading at 0004 not more than 3 days ago. So that's one of the key hot points with this stock, really low share structure for the prices that the stock's trading at. And so people are definitely getting excited about that. This float here, it says 5 million as of January 10th, 2012. I would not believe that. The float is much larger than that at this point. Regardless of how close it is to 158 million, the float's actually pretty low. As we can see, the stock's been moving pretty rapidly, but the float's definitely higher than this as of the June 7th date. The interim financial report, I could go into there and look at it, but it's going to be the usual. They don't have any revenues coming in. The balance sheet, they have some debts on the books, not a whole lot. But the key thing that's been getting people interested with this, let's just go check out some of the recent news pieces from the iHub. They released some press in early 2012 here, January 30th. Popped in a new board of directors, management team, and also a key point, they did a 5 million capital raise. Okay, so they put 5 million in place for some sort of acquisition, merger, joint venture, whatever they plan to do. Former board of directors and officers resigned. New board of directors was appointed. Thereafter, new officers were hired. The new company management addressed immediate outstanding liabilities and compiled the company's assets for evaluation. The company secured a $5 million equity line agreement with AGS Capital Group Incorporated, which may be utilized if and after successful filing of a Regulation A offering or S1 registration statement. All right. And that just talks a little bit about the management team. They just popped into place. But basically, natural gas and oil development company. They have some current assets, including a 28-mile pipeline, commonly known as the Well-Draw Gas Plant Field Gathering Pipeline System. The pipeline is in Converse and Niobrara counties in Wyoming. Interline also owns 4 shut-in oil and gas wells in the region. The region also includes significant shale exploration. So that's a key press release coming out in early January. Anytime you see a management change with a company, people can get excited about that. They can, new direction for the company, especially if the company was not working out. All right, and then more recently, if I can use my backspace feature here, geez. All right, I'll just go the old-fashioned route.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Oh boy, same issues as yesterday, man. I'm over here getting ready. We go live, and then all of a sudden my computer freezes up. I go through the intro. I think I'm on and I'm ready to go, and I'm talking to myself.
All right, it's all right, Sumo. Why don't you pull up an IRCE chart while I finish up the little mini spot here?
All right, thanks. Thanks for holding it down. Sorry about that.
No, it's good to have you back, man.
All right.
Artists, if I try to talk about this chart after I'm done, it's going to be ridiculous. People are going to be like, what's going on?
Hopefully I don't have any more issues, and this thing keeps going smooth here for me. All right. IRCE chart. I got it up here. Interline Resources Corp.
Let me finish the stock first, though.
Sure.
All right, we're talking about IRCE, people. We just talked about the management changes, new board of directors, $5 million in financing to take care of the major debts and to set the stage for this company to do some sort of future acquisitions and stuff. They announced that in early 2012. And then in late June here, on June 21st, 2012, just over a month ago, Interline Resources Corporation announces the listing for sale of that 28-mile natural gas pipeline I just mentioned. All right. Let's see. The evaluation, they evaluated that property was to determine how to maximize the value of the asset and its supporting components. After considering many factors, the company decided to list it for sale. The company will target energy companies already producing in the Converse County in Wyoming, so that same region, to determine their level of interest in acquiring the asset. So in addition to the $5 million in financing there, they're also looking to sell their main asset, the 28-mile natural gas pipeline. All right. So a couple key pieces there. They're basically trying to get into a significantly cash positive state. And as I mentioned, anytime you see that with some sort of company, they're going to be looking for some sort of other acquisition or company direction. So if they get in that significant cash positive state with this low share structure, they can do a lot of different things. I would assume they'll stay in the oil and gas, sector, but we'll see. So people are speculating on different types of news that could potentially come out in the near future on this one. That combined with the super, super low share structure is quite appealing for some bottom players. And, there's people that flock to those low share structures and low floats. These things can move quick. If they get a couple of big eyes on them, there's a couple of pretty good traders that are starting to come to this board here. And this one's just starting to rock. It looks like the chart's setting up pretty nicely. We looked at the accumulation on DD Amanda. It's looking pretty good. And people are speculating on some news to come here. So this one could get hot. Let's take a look at that chart, determine some potential resistance, support points. But the key things to keep in mind, again, that accumulation, people speculating on some sort of announcement related to what they're going to do with all this cash that they're bringing forward here.
All right, I got the chart up here, coming off a bottom nicely. It's had 3 days of gains in a row. Notice it bounced off this 0004 area here the other day. This was must have been Thursday, and got through the 20-day moving average, which was at 0012, and it was fighting to get above the 50-day moving average here on Friday, and looks like yesterday it surpassed that, ended up closing at 0022, which was the high of day. The 50-day moving average is at 002, so it closed up above that 10%. Needs to hold above that. That would be a good sign. If it doesn't hold above the 002, which is that 50-day moving average, I'd like to see it hold support at the 20-day moving average at 0012 if there is a consolidation. Looking at the RSI, that looks pretty strong. It's getting through the 50 line. Notice it got above the 50 MA overlay, which it had a tough time getting above this 50 MA overlay for a long period of time. See, it had a tough time getting above it back here in the middle of June, beginning of June, and it's just kind of hovered right around it. And then, boom, last week it got through that 50 MA overlay. She's moving north still. It's above the 50 line. I'd like to see this RSI get going north and get above the 70 line and get in the power zone. We're getting some nice action on the histogram. Those blue bars are starting to stack up to the bullish side. The PPO is crossed over here, and it's confirmed that crossover. Notice it was trying to cross over, and these two lines were holding right by each other. And now that line is coming through, and those lines are starting to diverge. They're starting to split apart, and that's above the 50 MA overlay, which is a good sign. The slow stow had a crossover back here at the end of July, starting to diverge. These lines are starting to split apart, and they're moving up. This is in the power zone. So all these indicators on the chart are looking strong. I'd like to see them continue to move north. That'll confirm our bullish trend. Notice the volume bars have been pretty steady. We had that real big volume on this first up day when it broke through the 20-day moving average, and the volume has been pretty consistent, so want to keep an eye on that. All in all, I really like what I'm seeing here on our IRC. I could see why you'd want to do a spotlight on it, Haas. Well done.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was brought to my attention a couple of weeks ago on the low share structure, but the accumulation lately is making me think that someone knows something. So great chart analysis there. Sumo, thanks for that, man. Another one that me and Sumo were just talking about before the show, we were posting on the board yesterday too. It's kind of starting to creep up a little bit after being quiet for a while. This one has had some decent runs in the past. Is Alaska Pacific Energy, ASKE. Most of our listeners are probably familiar with the runs it had earlier in 2012 here on the higher dollar volumes up into the 001s, touching 002s area, and it kind of dwindled back down, and it's been relatively quiet in the low 000 area for a couple of months now. But just recently, again, these last few trading days, same thing we're seeing with IRCE. The dollar volumes coming into this stock starting to increase as the share price starts to go up. So you have some upward accumulation. Looks like a little mini breakout on the chart. And, it makes you think either something's coming, someone knows something, or someone's just going to start loading the crap out of this up to that 0004 area. So this is definitely one to keep your eyes on here too. Some key points about this company. Let's just roll over to pink sheets real quick. Share structure, not ridiculously high. For a 000 stock, you got an outstanding share count as of April 30th, 2012 of just under 850 million outstanding shares. The float says it's 122 million here. My guess is it's much higher than that now. But even if it's upwards of that 848 million count, we've seen stocks with 2 billion outstanding, 2 billion floats move pretty significantly from these levels. So not necessarily anything to worry about too much, unless they are diluting further into this 2 billion share authorized count. But I'm not saying they are or they aren't. Another thing to note, over-the-counter pink limited information skull and crossbones status. All right, anytime you see that, you're basically thinking to yourself, all right, this company's not putting out anything. They did put out a little update in the quarterly report here on July 26th, 2012. So hopefully they will pump out some more filings to, get to at least more limited or current information status. I don't know if they just forgot to change the skull and crossbones here or not, but it does say limited information here, and I'm assuming that is with this July 26, 2012 quarterly. All right, so Alaska Pacific Energy Corp. You think energy, mining potentially, and yeah, as you can see in mid to late 2011, they kind of entered into a little mining focus, mining and exploration. So as of right now, people are speculating on different types of news and stuff like that related to maybe the acquisition of some mining properties, exploration of some mining properties, different types of joint ventures that they could be forming. But that remains to be seen as far as putting out any sort of news related to that in 2012. The last significant press release, I believe, was in late 2011 in December, and the management was just putting out a letter to shareholders basically telling them about the new direction of the company and stuff like that. So if they do put out some sort of significant release, this one could probably move pretty quick, especially we've seen some of these gold mining stocks move really, really, really quickly, even from these 000 levels with higher share structures than ASCII has. But the key thing we want to keep an eye on with this one is this dollar volume. Definitely some upward accumulation starting to form here, and it's coming out of the woodwork a little bit. Now it's been on some of the hot boards, so if some major trip players jump on it, this one can move quick. You got anything to add on that one, Stock Sumo?
Yeah, we'll run through the chart real fast. We've seen these sub pennies explode in the past, i.e. MIKP, BBDA. They, go from not trading much volume, all of a sudden we see the dollar volume starting to pick up, accumulation gets underway, and then they just blow up. So that could be the case here. We could look back on this one months down the road, provided they clean up that caveat emptor status and they get up to date with their filings and whatnot and make some positive announcements, we could be looking here in the past and seeing a big move up. Who knows? But looking at the chart, you can tell it's coming off of a big bottom. The stock fell off a cliff here, April-May range. Between March and May, it was trading in the 001 to 0028 range, and then April, May here, it fell off the cliff once it lost the support at 0005. It ended up finding the support down here. It must have went with no bid at times, I could imagine, if it was down here at 0001, no bid. And now we're starting to see the volume pick up, and so is the price per share. Key thing is higher highs and higher lows. Notice this trading session right here, it bounced between trip 2 and trip 3. That must be the confirmation there that the bids are starting to firm up. It didn't hit 0001 at all this day, and there's some pretty decent volume, 50 million share plus day that day. Looks like the day after that, this must be Friday, this must have been Thursday, Friday, it looks like it saw bounce off that 0001. I'm sure, probably not too many shares traded down there, considering how much is traded here around the 0002, 0003 range. And yesterday we had another support day at 0002, and that's our new support level. Notice the 20-day is starting to rise off the bottom, and it looks like it wants to cross through the 50-day moving average. That looks good. I'd like to see the stock hold above these moving averages, the 50 days at 0002, the 20 days at 0001. I want to see that 0002 hold as support. I'd like to see the support build to 0003, and like I said, higher lows, higher highs, that'll confirm the uptrend. Next key resistance is going to be the 100-day moving average at 0006. Looking at the RSI, it looks like it's trying to fight to get through to the power zone. It's at 69.19. Needs to get above 70 to be in the power zone, so we're just a hair away. PPO, lines are starting to diverge. They're splitting apart. Blue bars on the histogram are stacking up to the bullish side, so that's looking good right there. Notice all these indicators are above the 50 MA overlay, which is showing strength. And this one, the slow stow is up in the power zone. Slow stow currently at 100, so that's revved up. Want to see all these indicators hold above this 50 overlay, and it's looking good. All right.
Can I talk about one more quick before we roll into volume actives?
Yeah, we got 5 minutes. Make it quick.
Alright, well, I just want to talk about one because they put out news today, and this one's had some serious runs in the past. It's a pharmaceutical company, and these have been super, super hot lately.
We always got time for a pharmaceutical company. Shoot, if you would have told me that, I would have said, take your time.
Fair enough. This one, Siffy actually brought up a couple days ago, and, it wasn't super hot then, but the news they put out today makes me think that we might see a little bit run in formation here. Lajala Pharmaceutical Company, LJPC. This was one of my first loves, one of the very first stocks that I ever traded, made some good money on it. And this stock was the sole reason I fell in love with trading biopharm stocks. Anyways, as you can see, not necessarily the last 3 trading days, but the last week or so worth of trading days, we've seen the dollar volume increase a little bit. We've seen a couple of pretty big green candles. It looks like a slight little breakout on the chart almost here as well, at least from the last month or two of trading ranges. Lajala Pharmaceutical Company, over-the-counter QB company, outstanding share count as of May 18, 2012, 12 million shares. So we're sitting at a market cap of about $1 million as of July 30th, 2012. That is, go check out some of the other pharmaceutical companies at different stages of clinical trials and what sort of drugs they have in the pipeline. $1 million is pretty low market cap. Just hopping over to their product pipeline on their website, you can see this GCS 100 they have in different clinical phase 1 programs. Cancer immunotherapy, cancer with renal insufficiency, prevention of chemotherapy toxicity, and renal transplantation. So cancer immunotherapy and renal failure is basically what this drug is used for. And today, looks like they received approval from the FDA for a proposed phase 1 clinical trial of this GCS 100 in chronic kidney disease or end-stage renal disease. So we should be looking for them to start those phase 1 clinical trials here in the near future. So this one's kind of coming out of the woodwork as a pharmaceutical company, nice share structure, low market cap. So just keep your eyes on this one. If it heats up, these biofarms can move quick, especially with a share structure like that. Roll, buddy.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got for pre-market scans here? Big one up pre-market is AH, Accretive Health something or other. It's $13.25 last traded, and it's up 32% on 220,000 shares in volume. AH, put it on your scanner, put it on your watch list. It's up huge pre-market. I'm expecting this gap up and then a little consolidation followed by a bounce. We've seen it happen time and time again. You see these huge gap ups, profit taking after the opening bell. There's going to be a dip and a pullback. If I had a crystal ball and pulled it out, that's what I would foresee. We'll see what happens. Just mark this and remember it, because tomorrow we're going to be talking about on the radio how my prophecies usually come correct. All right, Nokia. Every morning we're talking about this thing. It's been gapping up 2 to 5% consistently, day in and day out. We caught it on the scanner early last week, I want to say. Maybe it was late the week before last. Either way, it's been beast mode ever since, moving, inching right along up to $2.30, and this is at a key resistance level here around the $2.33. So it's already gapping up pre-market another 5%. Last trade at 228.44, up 5.27% on 5.6 million shares in volume. That's 1,400 trades on the day so far, and the market hasn't even opened. So get ready. Bell's about to ring. Apple gapping up. Did I nail these calls yesterday when we were on the radio show or what? I don't know if you guys are listening, paying attention or not. Maybe you're not drinking your coffee when we're doing the show, but wake up, people. Watch what we're talking about. These things move, and they move fast. Apple options were sick yesterday as it broke out, and looks like we're seeing the gap up today. Looking for a consolidation after the bell, followed by a rally late in the day. So what else we got hitting the scanner here? Pre-market. Let's go over to ONCS, hitting the scanner on the penny side of things, and we are off. Alrighty then. Apple beasting here out of the gate.
Watching SUTI out of the gates. Sudimco International, this one got a little spark late in the trading day yesterday. It was hanging around basically break even for a long time there and busted up to finish at 170% in the green. It was nuts. Looks like some big asks on the 2.8 cent area right now. We'll see if it can break that. That's what it closed at yesterday. Few hits. See what else we got rolling. ASCII relatively quiet here. Let's see. Looks like Lojala, we got a little hit on 10 cents. First trade 9.5, next hit 10 cents, 8 by 14 cents spread. As I said, this one's got a really low share structure. Biopharm just put out phase 1 clinical trial news that they're going to start some. Pretty cool drugs in the pipeline, so we'll see if it gets any more taps today. ICNB finishing in the green again yesterday, up 1.2% so far this morning, 835 by 88 spread, 47,000 shares traded so far.
Oh, here goes Apple, folks. 604.82 hit a new high a day here. I think this thing could go back to 615. We'll see.
Yeah, the rebound on that's been nuts.
I had some $600 calls, decided to get real risky and hold them overnight. I got in a little bit too early yesterday, prematurely, bought them, but I'm in the green. That's all that counts. I'm making money. I just took 2 off the table, locked in some profit, and I'm going to ride the other 3, see where she goes.
What's up with DCLT? Can you talk about that one, or am I dreaming here?
No, I didn't mention that one today. What do we got?
118
Oh,
volume up 246.2%. Last traded 9 cents. This looks like another data call technologies. Let's go check this bad boy out. DCLT. What do we got? Looks like another little floater. It's like 15 million on here. I don't know if that's true or not. We'll see here. I don't see any news yet. Next thing that would come to mind would be some sort of promotion, but let's see here. I have no idea. The iHub board's pretty quiet too on this one. Couple things potentially come to mind. I'm going to check my emailers here. Let's see what we got cooking. Not seeing any promotion yet. Let's check my junk folder.
Speed Mission, SPMI, just hit my scanner. It's up 166%. Last trade at 024.
Yeah, that's the other one I was going to go to. What was that ticker again?
SPMI, Sally, Papa, Michael, India. Just broke through 024. 025's up 177%. Must be a promotional email out on it, or somebody's got to be touting it. Apple just busted through 605. 605.25 going right now. High day 605.42. And the $600 calls are up 150%. Last traded at $9. Closed at 360 yesterday, folks. You could have gotten in at the bell at 360, and you could be selling them over $9 here right now. So, yeah, 925 going. I know Siffy's got to be loving life. I know he was picking some up into the close yesterday. That kid nails these calls. Nothing like trading next to Siffy. Yep, we got the premium room coming soon. For those of you who would like to trade next to Siffy, you're going to have to pay for that. It's not going to be too much. Don't worry. We're not like some of these other guys out there that rake you over the coals. We're probably going to be asking, you know what, I'm not even going to go into prices right now. SPMI just went to 3 cents. We'll talk about stock prices. It was at 024 when it was flipping off the scanner. Now we're up to 3 cents. 3-1 by 315. 325 up. Momentum. She just beasted from 800,000 shares in volume to now 1.5 million in volume. And then your DCLT, that's another one that's running nicely here. Terrible spread though, 12 by 19, up over 400%. Oh, Apple just hit 607? Glad I only sold 2 of the 5 calls that I had, and I'm hanging on to the other 3.
Make that cheese, brother.
Oh yeah, Apple's going to 610, 615 today, baby. I might have to roll into some 610 calls. Let's see what they're going at. If Apple can get through 610 and go to 615, those calls will be $5 in the money. Let's see what they're at right now. Currently, the 605 610 calls are 450 by 470. The 610 calls, and if this thing could go to 615, which I think it quite possibly could, those calls will go up 100% easily.
Yeah, I know some big promotional newsletters are supposed to be coming out here. I wonder if, my guess is SPMI is for one of them. I'm not sure about DCLT quite yet. Sometimes they like to fake people out and run a few of them before they actually come out with stuff.
Man, I would hate to be in the puts on Apple today. Ouch. That one would sting. Sorry, I just wanted to break out the toilet flush.
We welcome the toilet flush for anything, even good stocks.
Whoa, look at little SPMI that we caught on the scanner at 024. Up to 0384 on the ask. 3 million in volume now. And DCLT, 14 by 15. Almost 500,000 shares in volume. Just want to welcome all the new members that have recently joined us. And if anybody wants to give us a call and call in the show, they're more than welcome to talk about whatever stocks that you're watching or trading, so forth. The call-in number is 347-215-7181. Again, that's 347-215-7181. Always love hearing from our listeners. It's been a while since we've taken some calls. I don't know, I guess people are shy. Apple.
Whoops.
Love it. What do you got?
No, it's just Apple's front and center right now, man. Apple's been a beast since that little mini dip it took post earnings, but one key thing that people were forgetting was the dividend that Apple has in place. That's going to keep people holding that stock and coming back for more. You know, they're not going to report 2 bad quarters in a row, right?
A lot of people expecting that iPhone 5 out. That should help with some more product sales. I know people will be flocking to the stores, and the lines will be a long wait for those phones when they do release it. And the $600 calls are now $10.50. They were as low as $6.75 this morning. The 605 calls were as low as $4.70. Their last traded at $7.50.
One of our poor listeners has Apple puts.
Well, if he's been listening long enough, he should know you never fight the trend. The trend is your friend, and we just look for it to make a move one way or the other. And we get on the right side of the fence. If she's in beast mode, which certainly she has been the past couple days, we saw the money flowing back into Apple. We saw it in an uptrend. You got to go with the calls when it's in an uptrend.
I didn't say it, buddy.
Never want to fight the beast.
Yeah, I hear you. Looks like BBDA might test this 003 area today. There's a big fat 12 million share ass sitting there, but if it breaks that, it can move. 003 is back up on the ask. We have 4 million trades so far. Someone's posting in our room that South Carolina Walmart rollout tomorrow for BBDA, Coma Online Beverage Products. Like to see a little bit more Bid Sports stepping up on that guy, though. SPMI dipping down a little bit. Looks like it's trying to find some support in the mid-twos. Still up 206.7% last traded, 276, 5 million shares traded.
Yeah, I'm going to look at these 610 calls for Apple. They're 475 by 490. If Apple can get through 610, these things are going to be the next one that I'm going to be rolling over to. And I think she's got a shot. We'll see what this consolidation does after the first half hour. Looks like that SPMI topped out around 4 cents, is now pulling back 0275 by 0279. EMOT hitting the scanner. You've talked about that one a few times in the past, right?
Yeah, I don't know when though. Not recently that I know of.
It's
Probably
up 155% today.
what sort of volume you looking at?
6.4 million in volume. That's 76 trades on the day. Last at 0051.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Go check it out. Oops. Well, not seeing any news popping out since late 2011, as far as I know. Got a, I'm not sure what's going on there. It's pretty low floater, low share structure. I see some iHub posters that usually gear towards those moving there, so maybe they're trying to run it. I'd be careful. She's getting hit though. Alright, let's check out the scanner once again here.
USEI popping up on the scanner.
Yeah, that one did well yesterday as well. Trying to find something new here. Let's see. Can't do it.
Oh, Apple just hit a new high a day. She is not done yet, folks. Don't count her out. Looks like she wants to go through 608. The 610 calls dipped to about like $4. They're back over $5 now. 608.03 is the high a day. Just tapped it.
Your Nokia is doing pretty well. It looks like again this morning, up 4% at 226 is when I just saw it.
AH was that other one that I said to watch on the scanner, and it was at 1330 pre-market. It's up over $14 now.
Jeez. SPMI coming back down. So he's going to test this 2 area here. EMOT coming back down. IRCE mini morning spot up 27.3%. Out of the gates at 2.2, hit a low of 002. 2.2 by 2.9 spread right now. Last trade at 2.8, up 27.3%. 1 million shares traded so far. This one is thin. Nice little tappy tap on 0029. Bid support coming in at 0026 and 2.5. 2.6 by 2.9 spread right now, up 31.8%. 29's going. 003 up on the ass. 0029 bid support coming in. That's what I'm talking about. 3x3-3 spread right now. Got some market makers getting keep up with the bid support coming in. 003 by 0034 spread. 750,000 share bid there on 003. And it got whacked out. Bid whack. Ching.
Somebody took some money off the table.
Yes, sir. I think there's a lot of impatient holders that have been holding for a little too long without updates from the company. So that's probably not the last time you're going to see that with this one. 2 million shares traded. Last trade 003.
And that's 12 trades on the day.
Like I said, she's a thin one. She's going to move quick both ways. So keep that in mind. Coming back down here, it looks like there's a few market makers on 0025. We'll see if she holds there.
Apple holding support above 606. Not seeing any major pullbacks. I sense 610 to 615. My spidey senses are tingling.
Your what?
My sumo senses.
My sumo senses. Alright, that works. I'm alright with that.
They're kind of like spidey senses, except they're sumo and they slam.
Sumo slam. Man, I'm trying to find an active one. It's not easy.
Iconic Brands is like the stock that just, it's like the Energizer Bunny stock. This thing went from, it's a 10 bagger for us practically here. It's 0835 by 089.
Yeah, that one's one's crazy. Yep, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Man, this is rough. Slow morning.
I got my eyes glued to Apple, man. I'm so fixated on this thing. Ever since Siffy turned me on to it, it's like crack. It's been about three months now that I've been trading Apple options, and I gotta say, this is the next best thing since sliced bread. One of these days, you're gonna join us over here. I know you took one swipe at the table there. You took one try on
That was probably a bad start, huh?
Yeah. Netflix took us to the cleaner for a couple $100. Good thing you went small. That's the thing. If you're trying anything out, it's a good idea to paper trade first, and then once you do want to go in, start out small. Just get your feet wet until you really know what you're doing.
I ignored rule number 1, do your own DD and check the actual earnings date versus what we actually think it is. 5 seconds later, oh no, it's actually on this date. Screw it, it's just $200. Yeah, I was lazy on that one, so it's alright. Now I'll get back into it. IRCE getting some bid support back here. 0029 by 0033 spread. 350,000 bid on 0029. Got a couple 100,000 sitting down lower at 0025. 200,000 ask at 33. Then it jumps to 34 for 150,000 shares. Jumps to 005. It's a nice 120,000 share hit on 0033. Then the 0029 bid gets whacked out for 350,000. 2.6 by 3.3 spread now. 2.6 by 2.9 spread now. 3 million shares traded.
Anthony asking us, do we ever play puts, or is it always calls? Well, yes, we do play both sides. If Apple's in a downtrend, I'd be happy to play puts, but so far every time that I've tried to play the puts, I get burned. So I have good luck with the calls, and that works well for us. So that's why I stick with it. Apple most times is in an uptrend. The only time we saw it in a downtrend is right when they announced their earnings. We saw it pull back to like 570, and it found that support there. That would have been a good time to play the puts but who would have thunk it? I thought Apple was going to 620 after earnings. Just before earnings, I was anticipating 620, and it got close. It was up to like 6 something, I forget, but then it ended up pulling back to that 570 mark, and it's just been beast mode since. So when it's in an uptrend, I try to stay away from the puts because you will just get crushed.
SPMI looks like it's trying to find support in these high ones here around this 2-cent area. Lots of market makers stacked on 1.98 cents.
All right, Apple just lost its support at 606. Let's see if it holds here. This 606. It was holding support there for the most part. Oh, bounced off of it again. All right.
All right. What do you say we call it a show, buddy? Nothing too much popping on my screen.
I'm ready. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. And be sure to join us again tomorrow morning.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.